Okay guys, so there are a couple of more stitches that I want to show you how to make that you're going to need for this project. So let me make a few more chain stitches and then I will move on to some more stitches. Alright, so the next stitch that I'm going to show you how to make is called the single crochet. So you have the, let me start over, you have the chain stitch. Well, first you have the slip knot, which is what you use to get the yarn onto the needle, right, at the very beginning. And then you have the chain stitch, which is what these are. These are all chain stitches. A lot of times you will see the chain stitch or chain abbreviated with the letter CH. Okay, for obvious reasons. The next stitch that I want to show you is called the single crochet. And so basically what the single crochet is, you're going to stick your needle. Okay, sorry I had to end that because it was so blurry. So I want to start this again. So by the way, that is one single crochet. And I didn't say it, but the single crochet, it's abbreviated with the letters SC. So first you take your needle. You're going to go into one of your chain stitches, okay? So you just go in the center. You're going to wrap your needle with this yarn that's connected to the skein, and you're going to pull it through back to the front, okay? And notice I'm keeping a good tension. This loop isn't getting too big. So now I have 2 loops on my crochet hook. I'm going to wrap again, and I'm going to bring it through that one and then through that one, and that's a single crochet. Okay, so once again I want to go in between the chain stitch. I'm going to wrap. I'm not even really wrapping, just making sure the hook is behind the yarn, and then I'm going to pull that yarn from the back through like that. Now I have 2 loops on my hook. I wrap, and I take it through 1, 1, 2. Okay, and these are single crochets. So go through the chain stitch. Okay, I went through, and then I bring the yarn to the hook, and I bring the hook down, slide it through, and I pull that yarn to the front. Now I have 2 loops on my crochet hook. I wrap it again, and then I go through 1, 2. I'm trying to show you different angles. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep doing this, and I want you guys to keep doing this. Go in the center. You're kind of splitting the chain, wrapping, pulling through 2 loops on. Now I wrap it again, and I bring it through both of them. Go through in the center of the chain, bring the yarn to the hook, and pull it through. 2 loops, wrap, and these are called single crochets. Okay, so we're going to use this stitch at the very end of our work. So we're just going to do a few more just to make sure you guys have it. Okay, and that, my friends, is the single crochet. We will use that at the very end of our work. Okay, so the next stitch that we're going to need, the final stitch that we're going to use, the final main stitch that we're going to use for this piece of work, is called the double crochet. And I've seen it abbreviated DC, okay, for, you know, double D and then C for crochet, DC. I've seen other abbreviations too, but I think that's the most common one. So it's similar to the single crochet, except you wrap the yarn around the hook one time before you actually go through the center of the chain stitch. So just to remind you, the single crochet, you don't wrap first, right? You just go through the center and you bring that yarn through, and then you wrap and take it through. The double crochet is different because you wrap it first. So you go in with 2 loops on your hook. Now we're going to go in that center and we're going to wrap again. We're going to bring it through. And instead of having 2 loops on our hook like with the single crochet, we have 3. Why do we have 3? Because don't forget we wrapped before we went through the chain. Now we wrap and we're gonna go through 1 and then 2, and then you're going to wrap again and go through 1 and then 2. And you'll notice that the double crochet looks different than the single crochet and it's taller, right? Alright, so let's do another one. Wrap, go through, wrap again, pull through, and we should have 3 loops on our crochet hook. We wrap, go through 1, go through 2, wrap, go through 1, go through 2. And notice, as I said before, the double crochet is taller. It's higher than the single crochet. It looks different, right? Wrap, go through the chain, stitch, wrap and bring that through, wrap, go through 2, wrap, go through 2. Again, wrap, go through the center of the chain stitch, wrap, pull through, wrap, go through 2, wrap, go through 2. Okay, do one more. Wrap, go through the center of the chain stitch, wrap, pull that through. Now we have 3. Wrap, go through 2, wrap, go through 2. Okay. All right, so you see I crocheted 5 double crochets, right? Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are 5 double crochet stitches, and notice how they look different than all of the single crochets. They're shorter. Okay, so the double crochet, remember it's also abbreviated DC, that's going to be the main stitch that we're using for these tams. We're going to do that stitch more than any other stitch when we make the tam. Okay, so I want you guys to practice making single crochets and then to also practice making double crochets, especially double crochets, because like I said, you're going to use that stitch more than any other stitch with this tam. Once you feel that you have mastered the slip knot, the chain stitch, the single crochet, and finally the double crochet, then I want you to move on to part 3, where we will actually finally begin the tam. And one quick thing, this probably went without saying, but I like to say everything. You notice this was a size G. I showed you this needle before, and this is a size I. You would expect the G to be smaller than the size I, and as you see, it is. Okay, so the lower the alphabet letter, that sounds weird to say lower, right? But this, you know, if you go in alphabetical order, you get to G first. The higher you go up on the alphabet list, the larger the needle gets. But I didn't really show you that it was smaller, but it is definitely noticeably smaller. So, yeah. All right, guys, get to work, get to practicing, get to doing that homework, and I'll see you in the next video. Please learn to love unconditionally, because loving with conditions conditions the heart to not really love at all. Atreyu is out.